everyone, it's Linnea, and today I'm going to be creating a card using the new Mama Elephant Bear Hug stamp set. So I'm just going to start off, I'm going to use a couple of these sentiments, but I'm going to be watercoloring the bears. So I have a piece of smooth cold pressed watercolor paper, and I'm going to be using the smooth side. There's a textured side and a smooth side. I'll use the smooth side because it's better for stamping. So I just prepped the surface of my paper with my EK Success powder tool. And then I'm just going to be inking up my stamps with Versamark ink. This ink does smear a little bit with watercolors I found, but I like it because I can emboss over it with clear embossing powder. So that's what I did. And then when I start watercoloring, the raised embossed edges kind of help to keep my watercolor in place. I'm still not very good at watercoloring, so this really does help me to not go outside the lines. So I have my watercolors out, and I'm just using an aqua brush, and I'm picking up a little bit of the color and then adding it where I want it to go. I'm using about 4 shades of brown, the like a rusty red brown, the regular browns, and then also a black just to do some shading. So for this little bear, I wanted him to be lighter than the adult bear. So I started just by coloring in the whole bear brown, and now I'm going in where I want some shading and adding a darker brown. And then I can just rinse off my brush and use just regular water to kind of pull that darker color out towards the center. So I'm going to do the same thing with this Mama or Papa bear, but I'm starting with a darker brown because I want the lighter brown to be for the little bear. So I'm just going to give this whole adult bear a good covering of my darker color brown. And then I'm going to go in with an even darker color brown. And just like you would with Copic or Spectrum Noir markers, I'm going to go where I want the shading to be. And I'll add really dark parts there. And then I'll use just regular water to kind of blend that out a little bit towards the center of the bear. Okay, so next I'm going to be choosing some papers from this American Crafts Welcome Spring paper pad. I loved that yellow stripe paper, so I knew I wanted to use that. Then I'm going to select this green leafy paper and also this flower paper. I'm going to be cutting the largest rectangle from Simon Says Stamp Stitch Rectangle Collection, and I'm going to be die cutting that with my Big Shot from all of those pattern papers. The yellow stitched rectangle I'm going to leave just like that. But then these other smaller ones, I want to do like these dynamics. These are actually snowdrift dies, but they are going to look like hills. But I wanted that stitch detail to go up the sides as well, so that's why I had to die cut them using my stitched rectangles first. And then I'm just going to use some tape runner adhesive, and I'll stick all of those together. And then I'll adhere the entire panel onto my yellow striped background. I thought these stripes kind of looked like sun rays, and since they don't have any rays of sun stamps, I decided the paper would look pretty good doing it this way. So I'm just going to kind of make a little scene here with the bears and the honey pots, and I'm going to create little trails for these little bees. There is a stamp in the stamp set that has like the little dashed lines for a bee trail, but it was a little too big for where I wanted it down at the bottom. So I will be using that up on top. Okay, so I have a couple of sentiments here. I am just stamping it off on a piece of white scrap paper first because I've never inked up these stamps before. I wanted to make sure they would ink cleanly. So the sentiments I'm using are words can never describe just how much I look up to you, and then I'll use the larger thank you sentiment. You don't see it in the video, but I do end up adding, there's a little stamp, and I missed it at first, but it says from your favorite. And I just thought that was so cute because there's 4 kids in my family, and we're always fighting over who's mom and dad's favorite. So I just had to add that in there. Okay, so now I'm just adhering my panel with tape runner adhesive. I didn't like the way it looked, so I pulled it up and then I'll stick it down again. And now I'm liking the way that looks. I did add that little bee with the little bee trail as well. So now I wanted to add just a little bit of sparkle to these makeshift sun rays. So I'm going to use my Wink of Stella, and I'll put that over all of the yellow stripes. And I also added it onto the flowers down at the bottom. And then that is my card for today. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you'll join me next time, and give me a thumbs up on YouTube if you liked this video. Thanks. Bye.